Hey everybody, Marco here, and welcome to another pencil mark video. This is probably the one puzzle from Logic Masters 2023 that I have not solved yet myself, and it still baffles me. Just the existence of this puzzle and the fact that people were able to solve it in 15 minutes in the finale. In the finale of Logic Masters 2023, it was only the top 4 competing against each other to see who would get the best overall time there. But the rest of us also did get the set of 6 puzzles that they were doing on the side, just to so we had something to do, and so we could see how our times sort of matched up against theirs. And for the most part, I think I was a bit slower, but I held up my own for the first 5 puzzles pretty well. But this one just absolutely baffles me, how people were able to solve this in 15 minutes. This is the hexagonal Kakuro. It's basically standard Kakuro rules. You gotta put numbers in cells, well, digits from 1 to 9, so that, let's say this is 3, 7, and 9. This would be a valid example. So that each clue here, the digits in that it points to sum up to that clue. So 3 and 7 make 10. 3 and 9 make 12, and also we cannot have the same digit in line of sight. So, for example, we can't have 2 3s here because they see each other that way. 2 3s here would see each other that way. Something like this, though, would be perfectly fine since these are in different rows, if that makes sense. I think that about covers it. This feels really, really weird for a Kakuro because the clues do not cover a large part of the grid. I'm just going to sketch in red lines for all the cells that these clues see. I can make this another layer that sort of helps me out later on, but this is just to demonstrate there are a lot of uncovered cells because there's no clues in the outer rows, basically. And this could help later on just for us to see what cells are covered by which clues, but as you can see here, there's just a lot of blank cells, basically. Well, actually there's just 7 of them. 8. These are just not covered by a clue at all, and we'll just have to fill these out by Sudoku, basically, by looking at the candidates that can go in these cells at all. That's going to be fun for the future. So let's get going here. During my during the time where I tried to solve this next to the just in the audience looking at the people that were in the finale, I think I only got a few numbers, just like 3. But the break-in was somewhere here. This was an intersection of low numbers and high numbers in the clue. We've got the 21, where the highest sum of 3 numbers here can be 24. That's 7, 8, 9. So 21 can be something like the 7 going down to a 4, 4, 4, 8, 9, or 5, 6, 9, or 6, 7, 8. Those are the 3 options there for 21, I think. But for 10, this can only go to, let's say, 7 minus, because it's 7 or less. And this 7 clue here can only go to 6 minus, so 6 or less. So we've got 6 as our maximum here and 7 as our maximum here. And we've got 9 as our maximum here. So the maximum is 22. So it's one of those... So those maximums can only go down 1, if that makes sense here. So it's 2 of these numbers, and then 1 goes down 1 number. And it can't be the 7 going down to a 6, because then we'd have 696, which is going to be a repeat. Let me make the eraser a bit bigger here. So this is going to be our first definite number here. It's a 7, and it pairs up with a 1-2 pair here. This 5-6 is also going to go with a 1-2 in this spot. What that does give us is a 1-2 pair in this column here, and that pairs up with the 24. So this is also going to be, so these 3 cells here are going to add up to 21. And I do see this crossing with an 18, which has the 7 in it now. So the other cells are, let's say 1, 2, 3, 5, because that's the only thing, the only sum of 4 numbers that goes to 18. And we can't have 3 here or anything less, because that means our rest here is 18, and that's impossible for 2 numbers. So this is going to be 5. We'll just, that eraser's a bit big. We'll just, yeah, erase that real quick, and this is a 1, 2, 3. Those are the options here. Now we've got 1, 2, and 5. Those make 8. So the remainder is 7 and 9. So these are 7 and 9. We've got 34, which is 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uh, 4, 6, 7 are the options for 17. 13 is big here. This is 4 cells here, but it contains a 5. So these 3 cells, they add up to 8. We can't have 6 here, because that means the rest is 2. So for the 34, which has to be 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's got to be 4. Can erase this 4. Let me just choose a smaller brush size. So this is now 6, 7, which means this rest here is also, that's got to be limited to 10 or to 11. And actually, yeah, that over here where this 13 points to, this can only be 4 or 5. This has to be the higher number, the highest number in the 10 or 11, because it can't be a 3 or lower. These other cells are 1, 2, 3 limited. And the 4, 5, that pairs up with an 8 or a 9. That's with the 15 here. But I guess let's just finish our train of thought here. I can probably mark in the 6, 7, 8, 9, because that is a pretty high number here. Let me just delete the 7 here because it's on a 14. 6, 8, 9, that pairs with 5, 6, 8. Right, this 13, it's got a 4 and a 5. That's 9, so the rest here is 1 and 3. This 19 here sees 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So the other 2 numbers have to add up to 14, 15, or 16. Because these 2 numbers together are 3, 4, or 5, yeah. So this is, let's just say it's 5 to 9. Sometimes we just gotta do the notation like this where it's just a range instead of every single number candidate. Sometimes the numbers are just way too many. I guess one thing I do see here is we have the 1, 2, 3. We have a 1, 3 and a 1, 2. So no other cells in this row, middle row here, because the middle row is 9 long. All of those are 4 or above. That could be key for this 15 here. This cell here is 4 plus. Let's just mark that down. It's 4 plus. That means 4 is the minimum here and 8 is the minimum here. So what's the maximum that can go here? It's got to be 3. So it is, yeah, 3. Let's just say 1, 2, 3. And that gives us 1, 2, 3 in this row here for the 22 clue. So these other two cells, they got to go to 16. That means those are a 7, 9 pair. We've got 7, 9 here and here. And that's important because that deletes the 7 candidate from this 6, 7 cell. So that is actually, after all of this, is how we get our 4th number, which is kind of mad. So now we finally have a 6. The center cell, it can't be a 6, 7, or 9, so let's reduce that to a 4, a 5, or an 8. Those are the candidates. So this 22, how would we get that? We've got a 4 here. The minimum we can have here is a 5 and a 7. That still works. I think that's still fine because that reduces the 22 to a 22 minus 16. That's a 6. So as long as the sum here can be a 6, like 3 to 6, that's fine. So this is just small. Let's say this is 1 to 5. Well, no, it can't be 5 because the minimum includes a 5 here. So this is actually more like a 1 to 4. That's not really giving us much, though. So what else do we have? That's tough. Yeah, these 1, 2, 3s here, they either give us 3 if it's a 1, 2 pair, 4 if it's a 1, 3 pair, or 5 if it's a 2, 3 pair. So this is going to be, yeah, it's going to go with a 4, 5, or a 6. Not really much going on there, but it is what it is, you know? But yeah, I think those are, after all this explanation, we're right back to where I stopped at the actual Logic Masters event. We've got the 1, 2, 3s here. Those are going to make 6, and those pair up with the 6 here. So this leftover bit here is actually going to turn into a 5, which will pair with an 8. That means these two cells go to 7. That's a 4, 5, 6. This is very not restrictive at all. What can go in this cell here? It's got to be 7 or less because of the 8 clue, but what's the least it can be? If we maximize this, we have 3, and then I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. So, this is dumb. It just can't, it's just between 2 and 7. There's nothing restricting that at all, really. Let's just delete the 5 candidate here from the, we had 2, 4, 5, but there's a 5 here. That means we can't have a 2 here. Wait, that's a 1, 3 pair. That's going to lead this to become a 2. That's going to give us a 1, 3 pair here. And that's also going to delete the 2 here. This is... Okay, so first of all, this 1, 3 pair here, that's a 4-sum, so this bit here is 5. But also, this is going to be a new 1, 3 pair in the middle row. That's going to feed back to this 1, 2, and that's going to give us a 2 in this spot. 1 down here. 1 up here. This one is going to get deleted for the 2, 3 candidate set in this position. This 1, 4, it can't be a 1 or a 4 anymore, so this is also a 2, 3. These 2, 3s, this 1, this 8, 9, this thing in the middle is going to be restricted to 4 to 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, basically. Somehow this will help us. Let's check out the other numbers real quick. I don't see anything with them. I am laughing nervously now looking at this. This 1, 4 is going to reduce to a 1, 3 or a 1, 2, 3. Let's just... Actually, yeah, it was always that because the 4 was always there. So this is now a 1, 2, 3. We've got a sum ranging from 3 to 5 here, plus 4. That makes this sum here 7 to 9. It's going to... There's another 7 to 9 here. So that means at the lowest, this is 7 plus 7. Being 14. At the highest, this is 18. I guess all that's really telling us here is that this is going to limit the range here to 5 to 8. Not really helpful. I'm just going to mark off this 10 here. This is done. Wait, somehow I completely missed this. This is 6 for the 7 clue here. That's done. So it's going to be a 6, 7, and that goes with an 8. That resolves this 9. That gives us, yeah, 7 in this spot and an 8 over here. That also gives us our pair here. Might as well delete that and make it a 5 to 8 range. Over here, this 7 or 8, that's the 9 sees that now, so that this is a 7. This is a 9. This is just all over the place. 6 candidate gets deleted here. Oh yeah, this is a 14, obviously, so it's going to lead into a 5. We can erase that. 8, it sees a 1, 2, 3, so it goes with a 5, 6, 7. But yeah, that's just going to pair up. This 14, the remainder is 9, so obviously we can't have a 4. That would go with a 5 would go with a 4, so this is going to be 6, 7, going with a 2 or a 3. That's a 2, 3 pair now. So we've got 2, 3, 4 making 9, plus 7 making 16. And 22 minus 16, that's 6. So this number here is going to be 6. Wow, this is just all over the place. 6. We've got 4, 6 here as the candidates, so this is going to get limited to 4. For the 15 clue, that's going to turn into 3. The 1, 3 pair over here resolves. We delete the 3 here. We delete the 1 here because of this one. So that resolves the 3, 2, 1 triple in this row. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, the 9 clues resolved with the 1 here. Let's X that out. Let's X out the 13. 18 can be X'd out. Should we X out the 22? I think let's keep it there for now. 4 and 5, 4 and 8 are already in this row, so the only candidate here is 5. And the 2 numbers missing in this row, I believe, are 7 and 9. 7 is visible here, so this is going to turn into 9, and this is going to turn into 7. And there's just a whole chunk done in the middle here. How are we going to get these corners now? Our missing numbers are 2, 3, 4, 8. This can't be 2, so it's 3, 4, 8. It can't be 3 because this 3 would pair with a 7 over here, and there's a 7 in this spot. So it's a 4 or an 8, which would go with a 4 or an 8 over here, and with a 2 or a 6 in this spot. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 8. 2, 3, 4, 8. 2, 3, 4, 8. 8 would go with a 2 here. That's not going to work. Oh yeah, 2 can't be here because it's already seen there. Oh well, that's the candidates there. Let's look at the other clues for now. Let's cross off some others. This 21's done. This 13 is done. This 17, I forgot the last number here. That's going to be a 3. Whoops. 3. Yeah, that's... So this 17 is done. 34 is done. 15 is done. 12, that's a 4-8 pair. And that's got 2 candidates. The 14 and the 16 also both have 2 candidates. Maybe something that gets entered here is going to resolve the 4-6 there. Or something here will resolve these numbers, which will resolve that. 2, 3, 4. That pairs up with, I guess, 8, 7, 6. And for the 9, that pairs up with 5, 6, 7. Oh, I should just get the 19 here. A lot of the reason for me being slow here is just scanning skill issue. We've got 2, 3, 6, that goes with an 8. For this 29 going across now, I mean -9, that's 20. 8 and 3, that's a remainder of 9. Because of the 8, that can't be... So that's got to be a 4-5 pair. No. Okay, so it can't be a 4-5 pair because 4 and 5 both point to the cell. It can't be a 3-6 pair because we've already got 3. It can't be a 1-8 pair because we've got 8. So this is a 2-7 pair. If this was a 2, it would go with a 6, and if it was a 7, it would go with a 1 in this cell. 22's done here. I forgot to cross that off. This 24's done. Whoops. This 18's done. This 16. If there was a 1 here, would it work? Like 1 leading to a 7 leading to a 2. We can have 9, 6, that's fine. 7 and 8 would work here too. So I don't see any reason why not quite yet. Let's look at this row. We've got 1, 3, 5, 8 here. Is there like a number that can only appear in one spot? We need 2, 6, and 7. Those already have candidates. And then we also need 9. Oh, the 9 can't appear in the top because of this. It can't appear in the second because of this. This blocks the third to last. This blocks the second to last. So this is the only spot where a 9 can appear. And the other number that's missing here is a 4, which can't be down here because of this 4. So it's got to be in the top spot. That's seriously the logic here. And the other number here is 2, 6, 7. So with this 4 at the top, we do resolve the 4-8 pair. That's going to be an 8 here, a 4 here, and with the 10 clue, this last number here is a 6. That removes the 4 from the candidates in these spots. And also reduces these candidates on the side a bit by getting rid of the smallest number. Two, 3, this can't be an 8 anymore, so the only spot an 8 can be in this long diagonal is down below here. That gets rid of the 8 here, so this is resolved to the 7, 3, which goes with a 6. And we do get a 2 in this spot, which resolves the 2, 3 pair. So this is going to be a 3 up here, a 2 up here. That 2 and 5 adds up to 7, so to make the 14, we add a 7 in this spot. And to make the 16 clue, this becomes a 6. That's pretty much all the clues in the top half resolved now. This 22 clue is done, so yeah, this 9 clue is done, this 10 clue is done. We only really have the 29, this 15, this 8, which is just double, and the 16. Those are the only ones we have left for this little bottom left corner. So the 16, this now go... Oh, That's cool. This is a 2-7 pair. That means neither of these numbers can be... I mean, this number can't be 2 or 7, because then it would block both of these candidates. So this just naturally resolves to a 6. And of course, because of the 7 up here, this resolves anyway to a 2 and a 7. That cleans this up to a 1, and that goes with a 9 to finish off the 16 clue. For the 15, that's 11, goes with a 4. And we end this with, I think, a cell which only has one candidate left. I think that's a 5. 1... No, it sees stuff here too. 1 is blocked, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this ends up being a 2. Wow, that all resolved. That was a pretty big grind here. And it did actually just take me 31 minutes in the end. At the time of yeah, this recording right now, I'm in the 31st minute. With yeah, minus explanations, that's about, I think, double the time that the contestants took. But also, I already knew where to start with which 4 numbers. But yeah, wow, this was an exhausting Kakuro to solve. Hope you didn't yell at your screen too much for me missing all those easy scans. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye. Hope this video helped you learn something about Kakuro techniques in this very unconventional rectangle grid. Have a nice day.